playing the Storm Spirit, getting up an early Orchid if he doesn't indeed decide to go that direction, and very often that is the call and would make a lot of sense in this match as well. But we'll see as we are into game one and just about ready to get underway.
Yep, and Arteezy is going to be actually farming the Storm Spirit in the safe lane, and Fear will be taking the puck in mid. I think this is fine, although I've been seeing a lot more of Arteezy playing the traditional one position in the safe lane. Like we saw him play Terrorblade yesterday and had, what, 220 CS at like 18 minutes or something like that, or maybe like 20 minutes. And I've been seeing a lot more of Fear playing the mid role. Heroes like Panda, heroes like Puck, and kind of like your tempo controllers.
Yeah.
And I think they're fine and comfortable with doing both. And I think it's just a matter of who feels more comfortable in what hero. IX Mike gets a ward down up top. I'm pretty sure it was spotted, yeah, by Arteezy. Do they have sentries? They don't actually, because Zai bought boots,
to battle.
and they already had PPD by just the wards and the regular. Or sorry, the courier and the regular ward. So now I can be able to counter that. At least they know it's there. Yeah, they're pinging it exactly where it is. Bottom lane, what do we have here? A ward is actually placed. I don't know if that was spotted, but because I was looking at top at Universe, yeah, he is going to be playing the offlane Darkseer.
Horn blows and we're underway. Game one of our lone best of three. It's going to be the last best of three we do for a few days. Trav and I get a mini vacation. I want to say it's 4 or 5 days off. Then we're back towards the weekend to round things up for our Western broadcast. So we're down really to the last few, and it's kind of snuck up on me, man. I'm not sure about you, but like I was talking to one of our admins, and he clued me in that he had run the numbers, and even if basically EG has one more series left, even though VP Polar is in great shape, they're sitting at 4-1, just because of the way tiebreakers work and the math works out. Even if EG were to lose their next match and end up tied with Polar at a 4-1 record, they would still just qualify numbers-wise, and that's when it dawned on me. It's like, wow, 4-1. That sounds like you should have 2 or 3 more best of threes left, but actually you're done because of the 2 team withdrawals we've had recently. So, not a whole lot of Dota left in the West, but our playoffs and everything will be coming up as well. So make sure you don't miss that. Looking ahead through December, we actually did move that back towards December as well. So let's talk about the laning phase and how this is going to end up working. Universe, I think, up against this, right now it's a dual lane, but we will see, obviously, Fluff rotate his way back over. I think Universe on the Darkseer is going to be okay. He's going to be level 2 right now, as a matter of fact. Whereas Mike, yeah, not a point gained in experience yet, and I don't know that he's going to get a point. If he comes forward at all, he's going to end up dead. I mean, a Storm plus Avenge and the Ancient Apparition, if they're all 3 even remotely in the same vicinity, they can bring down a Zeus so quickly. And this comes back to what we've talked about. We've actually seen Zeus picked, what, 5-6 times now in the D2L, something like that?
Yeah, something like that, except it's primarily in mid.
Right.
Like, I don't like it here in the offlane, just because if you looked at EG's lineup like early on, with Avenge and the AA both showing with a Puck, I think those are their first 3, and then they went Darkseer, Storm after that. Like, they don't even need 2 support heroes up here to actually zone him out completely. They just need 1, just because of how squishy Zeus is. I mean, just look at the damage that Zai is putting into him just by himself. So that frees up the other support to do whatever else they want to. Maybe sit behind mid, try to gank bottom, or do pulls, and just anything they want to. But if this was like a Tide Hunter, you would need 2 heroes to actually effectively zone him out. But so that's why I'm really not a fan of the Zeus offlane in this kind of matchup. And he might even die if he gets one more auto attack. I think he's dead. Yeah, that's
First
just
blood.
a straight up feed.
Honestly, like, I don't blame Mike for that at all. What in the hell is he supposed to do? Like, he's not on one of those heroes like a Doom or something, or even a Bat, that it's like, if you have to at level 1, you can go into the jungle. That's not an option with Zeus, and he still is level 1. And I suspect he's going to be level 1 for a while, barring some kind of a big mistake in terms of lane equilibrium from the EG. But yeah, like, you stick a Zeus out in the offlane, and we talk extensively, we have talked extensively in our other matches about, Zeus can do damage almost no matter what level he is, but he is not the most forgiving hero when you get under-leveled, when you get under-farmed. I mean, he's always going to give you a set known amount of damage, a little bit of utility with being able to D-ward with him and so on. But this is just not going to work. Like, he's not going to be able to sit at level 1 and 2 when the rest of the supports on the map are level 3 and 4 and be able to have any effect whatsoever. They have to figure something out. Like, this is, if this doesn't change soon, he may as well just be a range creep.
Yeah, it's kind of he definitely should have died. I know what you mean, but he definitely still shouldn't have died there. But the problem is like, this decision to send him offlane and him not getting anything could completely just ruin their game. Like,
yeah.
This one decision by sending a Zeus offlane against this very aggressive, amazing early laning supports in Venge and the AA. I mean, Venge almost solo kills the Zeus by himself. This is what I'm talking about. You don't need two heroes to zone him out. But anyway, we've talked about that. He's getting absolutely nothing. He's already basing. He's level 1, will be for quite some time. The offlaner, though, for Darkseer, he's level 3, has his bottle, can effectively farm the jungle if he needs to, but feels that he's safe enough to actually go back bottom. The supports on NYX Assassins are not nearly as potent in keeping out heroes as the ones on EG are, and they actually missed the connect stack there, so or connect pull. So Universe is going to get a lot down here now.
Yeah, things have really been going well for Universe. He is level 3, as we saw. He actually picked up an Invis rune at the 2-minute mark. Now at 4 minutes, it was a bounty here. The illusion was picked up at top by PPD, and he's just gonna drift through. Like he can afford to do this. Like what? Like where did Mike even go? Like yeah, let me look. He's gonna have to come leech XP off mid. That's really the only option he has. He can't go into the jungle. You already have 3 heroes down at bottom. Speaking of Universe, trying to make a go on him, but he's tanky as can be already. And they're getting some damage on. Maledict ticks, not gonna do much.
Is under attack.
Yeah, he's fine. He's actually gonna surge himself back in the lane. Whitebeard's kinda low. But yeah, TC's now gone into the jungle. And I guess maybe this was the plan. Just lane TC in mid for a while, then let Mike come in if he needs to play catch up. And he will get something done, but he is still way behind. Not even level 2, and it's 5 minutes in.
Yeah, he's, I mean, maybe that very early shot of his chain lightning or his arc lightning, so he still didn't get any CS at this so far. But yeah, maybe that was the plan. Maybe that was like, Zeus will get level 2, maybe 3 if he's lucky, and then once I get some decent items up on my, or decent levels up on Lycan, I can just give you the mid lane. Like, it's actually a decent plan, but it just didn't work out because the heroes on EG were so strong in lane that Mike couldn't get anything, so.
I just don't know that I understand. Like, the Zeus pick wasn't like a first pick. It wasn't like something they built this composition around. And I'm not sure why they would select him. Like, if, you know, there are so many other heroes that could have gotten at least something done, or at the very least had the option of being like, well, completely shut down. I guess I'll go into the jungle and it'll be slow, but I can still leave my Lycan mid, maybe come out and try to gank for him if there's an overextension. You know, this is just completely forcing this on. Like, this is how NYX has to play this. Otherwise, they have zero efficiency in their lanes. And as we've talked about, Universe is almost level 5, so he's like comparatively crushing his lane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like if he's a tied, like say the same thing happened and he was tied and he got absolutely nothing. Like he died, still couldn't get anything. He can still actually gank a lane. Like he can, if he has an early point in Gush, if he wants to, he can still find himself to be useful. He actually might even die here if Fear's actually going to put some aggression onto him. Here comes the counter initiation though, from the Lycan who has ulted.
Gonna try to turn it around, ult from TC, and yep, Fear's gonna end up in some trouble. Actually, man, nope, face shit the Echo Stomp, but still, the reaction from Snaw a little better, and EG ends up giving up a first blood, and that's going to catch everyone up a little bit. Taking a look at just how efficient the lanes have been up until that kill, you can see, yeah, that one, they almost had built a 2,000 gold lead off of nothing but lane efficiency. Now that does cut it down some. Still, Snaw finds themselves in a hole in EG. If they just stay safe, should be quite happy to continue with the status quo.
Yeah, and either Storm has been taking neutral creeps while he's been taking lane creeps, or Brax has been missing CS. Maybe a little bit of both, but the Storm has 14 more CS than the safe lane Necro. Now, I know it's a little bit more difficult to actually get CS when it's pushed into your tower because of Darkseer.
Super dead.
Yep.
Got dove, and I don't know if he did notice Arteezy was level 6. Of course, this, you know, the rotation from Zion PPD was on point, so can't anticipate that all the time. They actually had him down a good ward as well. But EG going to be able to pressure this tower and most likely bring it down. I don't even know that Snaw can respond to this at the moment.
Yeah, I am surprised that Whitebeard actually is level 5 though. That's pretty good for him on the Elder Titan support. So they did a good job pulling and getting experience that way. Even Fluff is level 5. I mean, I know the supports on EG are level 5, but they had a much better time getting actual like first blood, and they're better in lane than the other supports on NYX. So not too bad from the support side of NYX, I must say. And Fluff goes down actually to the hands of the Storm Spirit. That's what I'm talking about. Storm Spirit's so good at rune contention, man. I talked about this in the Eastern scene when we saw him picked up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, I'm actually a little surprised we don't see more Storm than we do. Of heroes that aren't right now at tier 1 in terms of their draft status, how often they're picked in ban, we do see him somewhat frequently. I mean, he's basically, he and Puck are the go-to picks. So it's like, okay, we need some range, we need some X factor, we need some decent initiation. But yeah, I think he fits in wonderfully with the meta, and I actually like him safe lane more than mid. I think now, I really do. Like very often, if he's run properly in the safe lane, and you do things like this, start taking towers in 8, 9, 10 minutes in. He's actually almost always in a good position, whereas in mid, he can sometimes fall behind. Maybe he dies trying to contest a rune, and then maybe there's a successful gank before 6, and now he's 0-2. Whereas in the safe lane, that doesn't tend to happen, and he just has a chance now to set back and to, I mean, just look at his farm, like you said, with some help from the supports, so far as stats and everything else, he's up to 67 CS. And that being that much closer to an early Orchid really does just up his combat potential so much so early.
Yeah, I think he's fine in the safe lane too. He's definitely a lot more safer, hence the term safe, and I think if you can't get that Orchids very, very quickly without kind of, as you mentioned, interruptions in mid, because mid is like the focal point of the map. It's very easy to gank a Storm before he's level 6, and it's much easier to do that in the mid lane than when he's in the safe lane next to his supports all the time. So, yeah, Puck has a very early blink dagger himself though, and that's sub 10 minutes for him as a result of the very good time he had in mid. Although Lycan has just delegated to the jungle as we saw, and he actually went for a Midas too, so he's going to be farming very, very fast. This is, I think, TC's best hero as well, and this was their first overall pick.
Yeah. You have the Midas pick up on TC. I'm fine with that. Well, I say I'm fine with that for TC. I'm not sure that his team's going to have any firepower if EG gets something rolling though. Like, I don't know what else you do. I mean, they know, they had to know 2 minutes in the lane phase that they were going to be behind, and there's going to be an ice blast. It's quite huge, but it's nothing, literally nothing. But they had to know they were going to be behind coming out of the lane phase. Midas is going to catch TC up in about 10, 15 minutes or so. He'll be right where he wanted to be, and then everything else is great. Up the top is a Death Ward on design, so Fluff and Stuff manages to get a solo kill on the Ancient Apparition. Here comes Arteezy though, and that's not a good trade. You can't be giving Arteezy kills at this stage, given his farm, given how well his early game has gone. He's already got up 1 Oblivion Staff, and now Fear throws the coil on the Brax. That's going to prompt a rotation. It's going to be IX Mike who will land in. Fear kind of wasting the coil there, if we're honest. He used it in a situation where it was very low likelihood there could be a follow-up. PPD and Fear get eyes on the Whitebeard. And, yep, there's the Waning Rip. That's just going to be a solo kill. So, I mean, like, right there's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Like, they're just so over-leveled that their right-click damage is ridiculous.
Yeah, Puck's a really good hero against the ET. It's very easy to dodge all of his things. Like, you can dodge the Spirit, but the Stomp, as we saw, nice tower kill there by TC. He gets it, forces out rotation from Zai as well, and Fear couldn't get the deny, so... but yeah, it's kind of hard playing ET against the Puck. Like, you can coil him to stop his spells. You can silence him to stop the Stomp. You can dodge the Stomp with the phase shift. So Arteezy looking for blood. He's trying to look for that low HP Lycan. But he actually went back to base. So.
And Vlad's picked up. Again, Arteezy with 1 Oblivion Staff of his Orchid done. He's actually got enough gold pretty much for the second. He'll be able to take a wave or 2 and be able to get 2 Oblivion Staffs. Like, his Orchid's going to come out if he stays at this pace by like 16 minutes, man. And he's already got his Shreds as well. So at 16 minutes, Arteezy's going to have a chance to just take the game over if he starts to work really well with Fear and roaming with the Puck and the Storm Spirit with some supports and so on. And this is where the Midas on Lycan worries me. I mean, again, I guess there's not a whole lot of options, I don't think. Like, you have to play catch-up as a team because of how badly the lane went. Mike did finally find his 6, so they will at least have that damage to rely on. But Brax, despite having what it should have been uncontested free farm, is actually sitting at level 8, almost level 9. But his net worth is actually the 4th highest on the map, so he has fallen behind.
They're really wanting to dive this guy again. Here comes the AA blast bottom, I think. I think I see it.
Nope.
Maybe I'm just seeing things. Okay, I'm just totally seeing things. As oh, he cast it somewhere. Anyway, I think it was a bid. But this is why I really like the Midas on Lycan, because there's going to come a time Fear takes some damage actually from IX Mike. IX Mike takes more damage though. Coil comes down. Heal comes down onto him. He needs to cast his ultimate. He does.
There's the
Death Ward. Oh my god, the damage! It's so real. And Universe is going to fall. Oh, this is so inevitable and sucky for him. but Brax gets a double kill. Man, so Mike has found his levels, and he's becoming a force in these fights, so good for him.
Yep, level 6, very important. And, you know, still playing catch-up a bit, but at least he's in the game. You know, he's around. He's actually relevant now. And that's, you know, a good set of kills. That's something that they actually really needed. And with that, they draw themselves to within 1,000 gold. So NYX, despite not having the best out-and-out laning phase, now as we approach the 15-minute mark, finds themselves very close to even, and they're beginning to peak when they want to. TC's going to be hit by a Ice Blast. Brax is right there with him, and Universe should be able to hold the line here. If you're EG, I feel like you should feel pretty confident that as soon... Yeah, the Orchid's done on Arteezy, by the way. He just finished it, and we're going to see them go on mid. Sentry is down for Mike. He doesn't have vision in the high ground, so he doesn't know they're there, but he suspects it. Fluff's going to be there, and here comes another TP.
I'm over here.
And Storm going to go right on in. Goes right on Mike after orchiding Fluff. So good target prioritization, guaranteeing the cast couldn't come out. That's an easy kill for them. Now Fierce showed up in mid, and each other lane accounted for. TC and Universe at bottom, while Brax and Zai are at top. And it looks like EG really wants to start racking up the kills here in mid.
Yeah, could have been a risky dive if like they had anyone else sitting there. Although they did have a ward up there, but I don't think that surely shows like back here behind the tower. So could have been scary. Here comes an ulti actually onto Zai. The ultimate from Mike to help out secure the Reaper Scythe, and that's a 60-second respawn timer on a support Ancient Apparition. This stage of the game, that is massive. That's forever on the sidelines. He can go make himself lunch right now if he wants to. Actually, he's in Europe, so I guess.
Make himself an early drink, an early evening drink.
That's right. That's a pretty sick combo, though, I must say.
Yeah, and no, it's like you said. Look at Brax with his blink dagger, just hiding out up here from the moment. But, and it's especially valuable on a hero like Ancient Apparition, who even when he's just sitting and farming a lane and trying to get levels, can still contribute all across the map with his ulti. So he's just, yeah, it's actually kind of a big deal. Arteezy going to go in on Whitebeard, and he's super dead. Fear even there to help him out. And this is what I was worried about. You know, Fear with his mobility item, Arteezy with an early Orchid. He's starting to pile up gold. He's already got 7 just from 2 kills. Brax, on the other hand, he's picked up a casual cloak, and it looks like he wants to go with a BKB, as he's picked up an Ogre Club as well. TC going for a BKB as well.
Yeah, I don't think NYX can afford to try to split and like really get the full efficiency out of this map. I think they just need to do the old actually bottom, as TC is going to get AA ultimate. Mike at Dove here has no Aegis or anything like that, and he is probably going to fall. Here comes the stun out from the Venge. Cannot get healed. He's going to be close as far as Shadow. I think he's okay though. Yeah, he's fine.
Yep, manages to survive. In the meantime, they do manage to kill Arteezy. That's a big death. Arteezy can't be giving up deaths right now. NYX investing in the minus on the Lycan and having what they have in terms of global presence, in terms of heroes that can punish you so severely. They can allow themselves to give up the lead that they've managed to gain for Arteezy going safely. Brax not going to have the cold feet proc. TPD did teleport in and gets the deny. And Brax is hanging around. Now here comes Fluff. Throws out the wave of terror. They did walk through the ice vortex, so the slow gives them a little time to reconnoiter. Universe actually went Atos right off the bat, and doesn't even have his tier 2s yet. Just flat out rushed an Atos.
Huh. That's interesting. It's kind of cool actually. I don't know. I haven't seen it enough to really make a judgment call. It's not very good against Lycan at all. I guess it's good against the others. It's good against the Necro, but he has a blink. So, I don't know, we'll see. The lineup from EG is really scary, though, because they have pretty crappy late game, like, really bad. It's all in the Storm, but as long as NYX has this very early... Sorry, if they're very fast about getting the Reaper Scythe on Storm, and just spamming everything onto him, he just dies and can't fly back. So you think it's in this case, yeah.
Very nice play by Fear. He actually engaged. Zeus was standing right outside of the AoE for the Ice Blast from Zai, and because he engaged and went very aggressively, Mike actually stepped back into it after taking the damage and ends up dead to the Ice Blast. So good coordination from EG. We're going to see TC forced to use his ulti. And yeah, he's trying to get on Universe and unable to do so. There's the Atos we saw used on him. And what's the interaction between Atos and TC's ulti? Is there any at all? I know usually there's not.
No.
I didn't, okay, I was curious if there was just some little minutia that I was unaware of. And that's why he picked it up.
Boy, if that was the case, it would be like a very good item. Brax taking some damage.
Coil
Actually comes out onto Fluff and stuff, who has a Quelling Blade. But that's going to be a waste of Coil, and he's just going to TP out.
No follow-up from EG. Because I did have Ice Blast and didn't even expend it. Not feeling like it was going to be worthwhile. Arteezy's gone back to farming for the moment. We haven't seen him get ultra aggressive after tallying his early kills. Now he will, and he's going to jump right on the mic. Whitebeard is right there with him, throws out the Earth Splitter. Tissy's there as well. So poking the bear a bit, and didn't like the growl he heard, so he's going to pull back, find himself an Invis rune though.
I don't know about this not getting 1 point into natural order. It's a pretty good value point, and they buffed the value point of it in the last patch. 12% base resist at level 1, 40% at level 1 for armor. I think at least 1 point of it instead of the 3rd point in Echo Stomp, but really wants the extra sleep duration for his Echo Stomp.
Well, like you said, Echo Stomp really became popular as a build instead of being skipped or a value point ability not long ago. But I agree with you. You know, natural order is just so good, and really it defines what the hero gives you. I mean, to me, Stomp will always be a utility skill that if you get good with it, it's awesome, it's value added. But it's really about the natural order and what that ability does the entire game. There's an Ice Blast thrown down lane, and actually did not catch TC. Now he's going to be able to TP away. So Arteezy just going to break off. So a little bit of a miscommunication there, as Arteezy, I think, told him to throw it a bit early. If he had waited and TC would have taken off running down lane, they might have gotten him. But as it stands, they come up empty down at bottom. They're going to try to gank as well. Going to be Brax and Fluff going under cover of smoke. PPD's just beside them. Yep, there's going to be the immediate blink. PPD eating some damage. Death balls. There's an ulti. But the Zeus ulti, now they're going to turn it around. And now Brax engaged him on. There's going to be a nice vacuum from Universe. Brax is down. There's the coil to follow. And Fluff and Stuff's going to make it a double kill for Fear's Puck. Well played. But yeah, we're beginning to see the difference of levels. You know, whenever we talk about, it's like, oh, the Zeus is under level, the Zeus is under level. Right there, it didn't look like Peter really took anything but a couple of auto attacks of damage whenever Thunder God's Wrath was used. And even the Scythe was a little bit mistimed despite it being level 2. And he survived. So even though they got that kill, they hung around too long. The reaction came, and it cost them dearly.
Yeah, well, there's a tier 1, like, literally not even a screen away. Okay, maybe just barely a screen away. And they really forced that one onto Avenge. He was full HP. The ultimate, as you mentioned from Zeus, didn't really do that much to keep him down. And it's not like they had any other thing to start off the damage onto him so that the Reaper Scythe could be more effective. So it was just a forced kill. They didn't need to go for that. And it was a nice exchange for EG. Arteezy doing a good job about not wasting his orchids on the hero he wants to kill, rather than putting the orchids onto someone that can actually cast spells, and then focusing the other hero. TC could get under some aggression here, but he has a BKB now, so he is very farmed. The top farmed in the game, actually, with 2,000
Ice Blast actually caught Fluff and stuff. And yep, speaking of Fluff, spotted, brought down. Arteezy, you know, this is a really nice combo, and it's the kind of thing that's very intuitive. It's not like it's something super creative, but the way that EG is putting it to use is working out quite well. Zai continuing to, wow, Zai has a scepter already. How is that possible?
That's insane, actually.
Yeah, he's 3-2-2. I mean, he's gotten a few kills, but he's died.
3-2-2.
Yeah, exactly. But that is absurd. Like, that's preposterous. Like, I've watched him, I've flashed to him and watched him almost all game. He's done nothing but sit in lane under his tower, and somehow he just has a Scepter Brown Boots. How?
Well, he's got 46 CS, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for support at this stage of the game, it's actually quite a lot. So he's been farming well. He got the first blood, which helped him a lot too. So yeah, but still quite impressive. And this is why I like the Scepter rush over the Midas, which we've seen from some players. I don't think I mean, yeah, the Scepter with level 3 is amazing, but it's about the duration of the debuff, so you can't heal for a long time. That's what it's all about, in my opinion.
I mean, the damage at this stage, especially against these heroes, I mean, you do, and it's good against Necrophos as well. Death Pulse can't heal. I'm just trying to think how, I guess he just farmed efficiently and has managed to be a part of a lot of kills. But anyway, we have quieted down some. Take a look at Universe. He did go Atos and bots, and I'm surprised he hasn't picked up a mech yet. Mech would make a lot of sense with the Ancient Apparition on his team, as a well-placed Ice Blast takes that advantage away. from the other side, even if they do get one up. The Necro did skip the mech, as did everyone else on their side as well. And TC, want to see what he wants to grab next. He's got his Vlads and his BKB. Being on Radiant's side, though, getting Roshan a little bit more challenging. I would imagine that's going to be a goal over the next few minutes, as we are past 20 now. And we can see that EG, after giving up the lead and actually giving it to NYX, has now reclaimed it. And now leads by the biggest margin they've had in the game, coming up on 4,000 gold.
Radiant structures
yeah, I think the
fortified.
no mech here is actually not too bad. I hear Earth Splitter actually the tower does get denied, and that's probably going to be it. Although Fear doesn't have a blink for 1 second, that gets canceled actually by the ulti. Necrophos gets a kill on PPD in the meantime, and Puck will use probably blink forward.
Fear actually played that really smartly. Now he's going to John just to put some space between himself and TC. No way.
Yeah, it was really
yeah, well, the fact that he didn't blink at predictable times and actually continue to use phase shift up at top. We will see a return kill on the Necrophos. And once again, and this is kind of what Brax has been doing. He's 5-2, but the 2 deaths he's had are just 2 that are given to the wrong heroes. Arteezy notching that one, and he's going to go Lincolns. He's picked up his Perseverance. I like this a lot against this team from NYX. And if Arteezy, they do need to peak soon, though. I think you really summed it up best, as EG just is lacking late game to a distressing amount. Like, they really are dependent on getting a lot of work done in the next 15 minutes. And Arteezy's Lincolns is not far away at all. If he gets a Lincolns and they're actually able to start moving around as 4 and 5, they're going to be in just fine shape.
Yeah, I mean, Storm Spirit can definitely take over a game in late game, and when he's given enough farm, and he does have a ton of farm. Not as much as the Lycan, but I think this is one of those scenarios where you look at the 2 heroes and I say, 11,000 net worth on the Storm, 13,000 on a Lycan. It's actually kind of even in my opinion. I think Storm is just a more valuable hero with farm. That's just me personally. But I think it's fine that the mech isn't coming out from Universe, because this is not a 5-man lineup from EG. It's like they don't really benefit from grouping up as 5 and trying to, you know, pummel down towers and stay resilient throughout team fights and long longevity. No, this is not a team with longevity. This is a team getting in and getting out. Fluffistup's actually he's actually caught inside the neutrals here as they keep going back and forth. It's kind of funny, but yeah, maybe if he wants to get a mech later, like after all the heroes are tanky, I think that would actually make more sense.
I mean, at this point, 25 minutes, I'd rather he just rush a pipe, I think. Down at bottom, Universe is dead. TC will get the last auto attack. No, actually, Brax does. And I'm not sure if that was just being too aggressive or what, but they converged on him very quickly. PPD and Arteezy were moving around. Looking to find anything. There's a nice blast that connects on the mic. Arteezy jumped in after it just a little optimistically, unable to find much of anything. But yeah, for Universe, he's actually going, looks like Sheeva's picked up a plate man, and they're going to get a free one off of Whitebeard as Arteezy plus a little help from Fear secures that kill. Whitebeard's been having a rough one. He's died 4 times, 0 and 4 and 1. At bottom, they are going to try to pressure this tier 1 Arteezy near their TC. That's his ulti in 15 seconds. BKB, fresh charge, 10 seconds if he wants to use it. Fear moving along the outside edge. And doesn't look like he wants to engage, so taking a defensive posture. I feel like NYX is playing this out pretty well. Like, they're giving up some things here and there. They know they're behind EG, but they're not just rolling over, you know? They're able to take objectives where they can, and they are getting some kills of their own and also some decent return kills when EG does flub up.
Yeah, the only problem is this Elder Titan's doing absolutely nothing for them. Yeah. Like, the funny thing is like he's totally maxed the stomp, which I still think is not the way you pick. This is not why you pick the hero. You pick him for the aura. The only reason you get the stomp early on is because he doesn't do anything from like the first 1 to 7 minutes or whatever. So you need that extra utility. So level 1 or 2 stomp is like perfectly fine, because without it, the aura doesn't really show its true effectiveness like in the early stages of the game. It shows it like mid to late. But I still think that, you know, the 4 points isn't warranted because he hasn't really been able to do anything with it anyway. Actually, the AA ulti doesn't hit the Necro, unfortunately. So Necro will be safer now. But yeah, they need to get this Elder Titan in gear, I think.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you, and pretty much said the same thing just a few minutes ago. It's, you know, Echo Stomp is value added, not the value. It's the icing, not the cake.
Sure, yeah.
And right now, you're basically just eating a tub of icing that you snuck, that you pulled out from the cabinet and you eat yourself in about an hour when your stomach hurts. But Arteezy continues to farm, and yeah, Orchid is on the way as soon as he cares to spin the gold. Coming up on, yep, I thought he was actually going to commit on TC. Brax is there, TC. Yeah, Arteezy should be quite safe. He's got help rotating through the jungle just up to his north. PPD and Fear. I'm beginning to feel like EG is actually, they're languishing a little bit. They're moving, but they're not accomplishing a lot. Arteezy, I mean, I understand big core items are coming out, and that's the overall goal. Bloodstone on Arteezy, and I thought he was going to go Lincoln's. Lincoln's would have made sense. But Bloodstone, whatever. That's also a nice Storm Spirit item. Universe jumping on the mic. And yeah, just gonna karate chop him a bit, forces out the ulti with the TPN. Used, and Mike gets off his ulti before the gank is finished. Behind that, we see Whitebeard's gonna run. Arteezy coming in, showing off his brand new Bloody Stone. Gonna get some nice charges for it as well, as Whitebeard's gonna be the second kill in about 10 seconds, taking his Bloodstone to 10 charges. And this has got to be very worrisome if you're NYX. I was just saying it felt like EG was languishing. They're rotating, not getting a lot accomplished, waiting on items, but not getting a lot done across the map, especially in terms of slowing down TC in particular, but also NYX as a whole. TC has finished his Assault Cuirass in the meantime. But now with 2 kills, as soon as the Bloodstone comes out, he's going to start feeling very snowball.
Yeah, Whitebeard just giving up too many. Like, the kill on Mike was... Like, Mike was probably out of position, but whatever, that happens sometimes when you're trying to push out lanes and create space. But there was no chance in helping him or saving him, and then Whitebeard just gives him a free +1. So there's just too many deaths, and this is, like, NYX is fine if they just group up and just stay as 5, and, like, do the old, oh, you guys are holding hands. Have you ever heard that sometimes? Like, oh, stop holding hands. You're always just as 5. But they can afford to do that this game, because as long as they're ready for the storm jumps, they will win in the late game. They simply will because of their draft. They just have to be ready for the storm jumps. And even if they aren't farming as fast as some of the members in EG, that's where the Midas, I think, comes into play from NYX, where I really liked that pickup. I thought, okay, Storm's going to have a really good game, but if they just stick as 5, and then they get some Midas charges whenever it's off cooldown, they'll be decently farmed, and then they'll win every team fight. But these small pickoffs is how EG wins this game, and they're actually pulling ahead because of it.
Yep, I completely agree. It's the scalpel versus the shotgun approach. You know, you don't have to blow a hole through the door. You know, just they're cutting the map up and making them pay with little pickoffs that are accomplishing a number of things at once. I do feel like EG does need to get into gear some, though. They need to begin to think about moving as 5. And yeah, we're starting to see more grouping up from NYX, and that's the best answer there is, as you said, to being picked apart by a Storm and a Puck and these mobility heroes with the Ancient Apparition. I mean, Ice Blast really adds so much to a lineup with 2 heroes like Puck and Storm. It's easy to underestimate because it feels like a known value. But it does make it a lot more punishing and always gives you big play potential. If an Ice Blast pushes 2 or 3, a Storm with an Orchid and a Puck is going to be able to extend those fights and take a lot and make a lot happen. Like we're seeing on TC, he got caught by the Ice Blast, and he has to use his BKB. And wow, Arteezy got the kill. I actually think that's still a win for EG, because Arteezy got the kill on the Lycan and got full experience, and it was just IX Mike on the Zeus that got the return kill. But that's going to be some Bloodstone charges gone. He's down to 7 now, and the Lycan down for about a minute.
Yeah, that was a ton of farming levels though for the Zeus. Like, that was basically a 4-stat purchase. Whitebeard is dead again in mid. Oh boy, rough game for him. And Brax gets caught by an Atos. He does have BKB if he needs it, so he'll be fine there. Shiva's actually almost completed onto Universe as well. And I think these items are good. Like I said, this is not a 5-man lineup. The bots to get around the map to help gank Arteezy, or gank for Arteezy. On like the opposite side of the map, you can split push on one side. And then they have the supports to help them out if they ever do need a team fight. And they have the Ice Blast with the Academics, so... I mean, the CG lineup was, I still think, very thin and, like, very gank-centric, but they're getting those ganks, so it's working.
What the hell is Fluff doing? He's chopping wood over here. He's been
in for 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, and he's been using his Quelly Blade. He's not now, but he's like, oh, see all the trees he's cut down? Like, he's been deliberately doing that. It's like, are they anticipating a push down bottom? He wants to have a little gang spot. And there's the Zeus RB. It's going to give them vision. They're going to immediately head for the pit. Brax engages on the fear. They're going to get Arteezy. with the Aegis, and they immediately want to get out. Universe stuck for the moment. And up atop, they actually pick off Fluff and Stuff. Wrong place, wrong time. Universe will end up being a kill for NYX. So a much better kill for NYX than for EG. But nonetheless, Arteezy does find his Aegis. Now he's going to the Lincolns, by the way, unless he wants some surprises to build a flipping Battle Fury. But one would imagine it'll be Lincolns. And
I think he's just straight up forgot the recipe cost or something. Because why does it make sense to build the Perseverance before a Soul Ring? A Soul Ring is so good on Storm.
Yep.
So I think he just forgot. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
There it is. So Lincoln's done. And
he's huge.
We're at 35 minutes now. And he is huge, you're right, but so is the Lycan. And I'm actually beginning to worry for EG. Like, I think they need to get a lot more done. They better accomplish a lot with this Aegis. Because, you know, we've been talking a lot about the Lycan and a lot about Storm and Puck and how they work with this EG composition. But what about Brax? Brax is not in bad position either, man. Blink, BKB, and an Ultimate Orb. And he's getting kind of scary. Mike, as you said, caught up a lot in levels in gold, has a free force staff off of that one kill. He's coming up on level 15 now, so he'll have his level 3 ult at a decent rate, especially given his start. I mean, hell, all of a sudden, he's not that far behind Fear. TC uses the ulti, uses the BKB, breaks the puck coil, and Fear is down for the count, man. Caught with the Reaper Scythe from Brax and sent back home for 100 seconds. And that's you know, proof positive of what I was talking about. Like, this NYX squad, though they are behind, is not that far behind, and they need to be further behind if you're an EG player for you to feel comfortable.
That kill on Fear was massive, by the way, because he's one of their only cores. Like, he's like a 0.75 of a core, and he had a streak, and he gave up a gem. And you can't buy back, and he was down for like 85 seconds because of the Reaper Scythe. That also helped Necrophos complete his Sheepstick, so that was a really, really important kill for NYX. And the thing about NYX is, even if they keep getting picked off, their base defense is amazing, because if the Overtide never stops dying, he will be able to just sit there with spam out Astral Spirits and the Stomps, and that's much easier to hit when you're defending your base. But he actually died before that in mid as well, just because Arteezy zipped across like halfway the map. And he's giving him a lot of charges. He needs to sit with his team. He's been alone a lot.
Arteezy continuing to roam through the jungle. Wants to get a view on somebody. Drops his Remnant. And EG needs to take a fight. God, Fear's down so long. Getting hit with Reaper Scythe is miserable. He is down forever. Even though it is 35 minutes, still forever. And they still have the Aegis on Arteezy. What do you think they should do here? Should they just try to force a fight at a tower and try to run them over and take a major objective that way? Or should they be playing a little bit? I think this is necessary. Force staff there. There's going to be an Ice Blast that does affect. TC did use his ulti form there. And they may be, they're probably going to regret that. Yeah, EG is collapsing down here. I was curious if they were going to send everyone. Fear's back up. The Ice Blast hit. And with TC's ulti about to wear off and be on cooldown for a bit, this will be a decent time for them to try to take a fight.
They get the stomp on to PPD. He's sleeping for a long time. The ulti comes out and he blinks in there. This is the very first time. He needs the BKB on Brax. He does use the Sheepstick, unfortunately, but Arteezy's Lincolns breaks it.
And now, Arteezy tosses here. Brax comes back down. BKB still there. There's a nice vacuum wall in the universe. Another Ice Blast coming out. That's going to catch almost everyone. TC, though, still with that BKB active and Fluff, setting up in good position with his Death Ward. Makes it a 2 for 2. Arteezy is back up. Should be able to catch both of them, actually. And this is why you love that Aegis on the Storm. TC did pick up the Basher, did get a bash, but a double kill for Arteezy makes it a full 5-man wipe for EG. And that's what they had to have. The Reaper Scythe, as you said, off the blink, crippling, but I don't know that they want to be using that Reaper Scythe on PPD. I mean, PPD's a value kill, sure, but especially knowing the Storm has an Aegis, you need to save that if you can. Arteezy and Zai now going to go ahead and put some damage on the tower. Don't know that they'll get it, but at the very least, they do take a big win. And finally, they've got the gold graph going the way they wanted to, as an absolute crater down.
I think that would have been fine at Reaper Scythe the bench if Arteezy didn't have an Aegis. Like, that point is completely different if Arteezy didn't have an Aegis. They should have done that, accounted for that, and just not even taken the fight. Like, yeah, the puck was dead, but he gets down there pretty quickly just because he has a blink and orb. So he was already ready to fight. And now with 13 extra charge, or 13 charge on Storm Spirit, not only is he going to regen his mana quickly, but he's going to respawn very quickly. Unless, of course, he gets ulted by the Necro. That's going to be the key, honestly, is this. And if he can get an Agony Scepter up on the Necro as well, that looks like that's probably what he's going to go for. They just need to prioritize killing Arteezy and nothing else.
Curious what Arteezy is going to grab next. Is it going to be a BKB? Go with that kind of a build, just guarantee that you can get in and out of the fights very easy, take you up a little bit? Or does he decide to go something a little bit more aggressive?
I mean, because he's this farmed, I could see Scythe being very effective. Yeah. And yeah, it's going to be, or it could be a Shiva. No, they already have a Shivas. Although I know he loves Shivas. But yeah, probably a Scythe.
Yep, Shiva's done on Universe. Yeah, it looks like Shiva's, Universe wants a Scepter as he's picked up. Oh, hang on. Wow, he actually just bounced and bounced back very quickly. But he has picked up his front booster, so we'll see if he wants to finish off the Scepter. I would imagine he does. But, you know, EG really did need that. Like, again, it was a good fight for them. Like you said, though, it was totally different because of the existence of the Asians. But it basically doubled their lead. And just look at Arteezy go because of the 13 charges on that Bloodstone, how quickly he regens his mana. Without that, if they lose that fight or break even in it, I actually feel like they find themselves perhaps losing, feeling like they're losing their momentum. And as we get closer to the later stages of the game, Brax hit with an Ice Blast, but no follow-up.
Lincoln's gaming here for EG, which is totally fine. I didn't really talk about this too much, but Puck having the Agonyms, I really like it against the Lycan.
Yeah.
I saw it come up at top when Puck died, but he died just because he was like the only one there, and there was 4 members of NYX, but the BKB from Lycan just ran through it and still was stunned for like 4.5 seconds, so I still think it's pretty good. We'll probably see it come into use, and Zai going for Lincoln's himself, I'm sure. Like I said, Lincoln's gaming is very important against this Reaper Scythe and Necro.
EG has settled back a bit. Taking a look at net worth after that last engagement, it actually is Arteezy who's about half of a big item ahead. 3,000 or so of Lycan. And this is, you know, the overall general problem with Lycan is he is very one-dimensional in terms of what he can give you. There's going to be a Hex on the whiteboard. They're going to get him for 3 Lincolns. Is expended. There's the wall that goes down, but Arteezy got bashed. And he has to run quickly. And does. Manages to make it out. And back to his own side of the river to TP away. So they managed to get the kill. Whitebeard somehow survived all that. But again, like, Lycan's very good at what he does. He's very good at tunnel visioning you, very good at punishing heroes like Storm if he gets a fortuitous bash. But he actually can just finish his Abyssal right now if he wants, which is so important. And that's, you know, that's something we really didn't give enough attention to, I don't think. Is towards the end of the draft, we were talking about on the side of NYX how they were a little light on control. You know, they had the Echo Stomp and they had the Cask. And that's a problem against the Storm Spirit. You need a little bit more lockdown than that. So the Abyssal coming out on TC really is very important. It's something that could change the game. Like, so far, well, I don't know. Like you said, Lincoln's, though, he's got his. Lincoln's, Puck has his. These are the 2 heroes you most need the stuns against. And it could end up playing a big role. For now, though, TC doesn't care about that. He just cares about taking towers, and look at him maul this thing.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah. Sheep take up on Arteezy. He's going to go on TC.
Oh, here, Foil as well. Death Ward is down. That's where Fluff is cutting those trees. There's going to be an Earth Splitter to the vacuum. Knocks him out of it. Now Brax engaged upon Arteezy as his Lincoln's pop. Whitebeard trying to hang near the back, and they're on the run. As TC did drop amidst all of it, Ice Path caught Whitebeard. We'll see if they want to continue to chase. Fluff and stuff in the meantime. Spotted, TPing away. Does manage to make it home. And everyone manages to make it home except for the Lycan, actually. And this is going to be unbelievably well timed if EG decides to check the Roche pit. Just to see if it's available, as he just respawned now. And there's a double damage waiting right outside. So gift wrapped. If they want to take a shot at it, looks like they're going to send Arteezy back to mid, and we'll see where they want to go from here. Now they're actually going to jump and get a free one on the Brax, as he's going to be orchided after the Hex. Down he goes. That's 15 kills on Arteezy, 16 charges on his Bloodstone. This is where Storm gets terrifying.
Yep, and I did like this Scythe pickup. Like, BKB he'll probably get BKB as his last item, and then bots. And it'll make him absolutely invulnerable, but just because he was up so far ahead, Fluff, his stuff is totally dead. And he might even run them in for DD and be like, oh, DD, oh, Roche, and then we'll take that. Arteezy up to 17 charges now. And I was actually a really cool play down there by PPD. The coil went onto the Lycan, and they actually like he stood there kind of running around, and then he swapped him through to make him break the coil. So he was stunned for 4.5 seconds. It was kind of nice play.
That Abyssal is done for TC. And again, essential for them. I just wonder if it's too little too late. Because the most dominant player on the map right now, no doubt Arteezy and NYX. Spotted out in top lane under his own tower, but Arteezy just so far ahead. He's got 4,000 gold on top of an 18-charge Bloodstone with Orchid and Hex. And yeah, like I don't even know what he builds at this point. BKB, I guess, but I would think he would want maybe just more damage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The small chance that NYX have to win this is to ulti him. Ulti Arteezy. If he gets a BKB with Lincoln's up, that's the only thing that can proc him. So he actually cannot get the Reaper Scythe with BKB whatsoever. I guess if you wanted to waste the Abyssal and then use the Reaper Scythe, that's the only way, but that's not going to happen. That just won't happen. So yeah, but he might feel a little just way too safe this game because he has so much mana. So it's really difficult for him to ever actually get stunned. But BKB, I think, would still be the right choice, and this bots to finish it all off. But again, this is basically luxury because he's just been able to do whatever he wants.
Yep. And to the tune of, he's basically a rapier ahead of the Lycan and farm now. So that's blown up. Scepter is going to be done on Universe. No blink on Universe this game. A little surprising. Usually the blink is a second or third item at least, if not a first. Bots coming out on EG across the board. Bots are up on the Darkseer. Storm doesn't have his, but Fear just finished his. They're going to walk on into the pit, and I think they should have seen at least a few heroes moving this way. They're not going to get there in time, so this is just going to be a free Aegis for TC. Well timed.
Nice little cheeky play there by NYX. I like it. They need it.
And I don't think EG's going to mind that much, but they do need to start putting some pressure on. I still do worry if the game goes like long. Like if we're still here 20 minutes later in game one, I think EG could end up giving something up. Speaking of giving up, Mike gives up yet another kill. That's going to be, actually does use. And the Ice Blast is there. That's a godlike streak on Arteezy now, as that improves him to 18-2. Taking a look at the kill totals, by far he's the actually the kill total for the next three heroes behind him only equals 18, and he's only died twice. So been a banner day for Arteezy Storm Spirit coming out of the safe lane. 8 deaths on Mike, 8 deaths on Fluff, 8 deaths on Whitebeard. So between those three, that's 24 deaths they've given up of the 31 that EG's managed to tower.
Yeah, I feel like if Whitebeard was playing Sand King, this game's completely different, like 100% different. Because he's basically been doing nothing but trying to like stomp people, but it's a very unreliable stomp. It's very easy to dodge, especially with the puck. He still only has 1 point in natural order. This is why I think the hero was picked. But imagine if he was like a Sand King with a blink in 10 minutes. I feel like they could easily get this kill on the Storm before he gets this out of hand. And then he also has much stronger team fight with respect to the ultimate from Epicenter. So yeah, I think this. Oh, action more on Arteezy. He's actually gone across the entire map all the way top to get Brax, and he will get Brax. That's what you can do when you have 20 charges on a Bloodstone and 2,800 mana.
And a gajillion gold as well. He could go buy a rapier right now and have some left over for a bit booster. Like, that's how farmed he is. And yeah, he literally went across the map. It wasn't at its widest point, mind you.
Oh my god, you actually told him to get rapier and he's going rapier.
Is he really?
Oh, we bought a sacred relic.
He's gonna go something like Radiance.
Why would he go
surely.
Radiance?
I don't know.
Okay, it is gonna be a basher.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, just get an Abyssal up. Yeah, that actually makes a ton of sense. That's another disable. And more importantly, though, you know, that actually makes so much sense. You know, at this stage, he has a gajillion mana and a gajillion health. So why not get 2 gajillion health and have a disable that goes through Lycan's BKB? Or if you want to focus on Necro and he's the problem, he has a BKB, you deal with that too. So good call, Arteezy. Good call. Rapier, a little bit more fun, but this is probably a little smarter.
Oh, I think Radiance has been fun. But this is probably the most I've ever seen a Storm Spirit farmed in this time of a game. I think he's literally 6 slotted with 20 seconds on, or sorry, 20 charges on a Bloodstone. Yep. Absolutely insane. I don't think I've ever seen this far.
I'm just gonna keep the eye on him. Like TC's gonna get spotted. He actually ulties, and they want to go as 3. And I guess recognizing the lack of the BKB, just hoping for the best, but he could jump from where he is right
Radiant's
now
top tower is under attack.
and kill pretty much anyone. There's going to be an Ice Blast coming through. Fired down at bottom just to kill creeps and keep the push on.
Radiant's bottom
But looks
tower
like
is under attack.
NYX realizing their time is drawing nigh. They need to do something with this Aegis. This is the best moment they've had in the game, where they the best moment for them to try to fight and try to turn things around. Problem is, we get split push to death. Arteezy doesn't have a TP, doesn't have boss, he doesn't need it. He can literally jump back to mid if he has to.
Dire's structures are
But they're going to continue to push. I like this. I mean, what else can you do? If you just sit back, you're going to get further behind, because EG has built such a staggering lead to this point, 25,000. One of the biggest we've seen all season. There's another Lincoln Stone pushing into the tier 3. There is no glyph. TC will ult. Is going to be Universe vacuuming him back into the Ice Blast. Brax is there trying to follow it up, and the coil's there as well. They're going to get the tier 3. There's going to be a swap with PPD. TC way up front and going to end up feeding the Aegis. Let's see what they can do to him as he comes back up. In the meantime, the tier 3 did end up dropping. Universe very low, hanging around the back. There's PPD. Now here comes Arteezy using the Hex and the Orchid on the mic, and able to get the kill because the heals. No, BKBs have been activated. Arteezy, though, is going to end up having to jump away. Very close to being dead. Catches Mike, though, with that Abyssal. Now TC going toe-to-toe. Able to jump just a little further away. Kited him using the Overload. And having an unlimited pool of mana that regens that quickly comes in handy. He was dead if his regen was any slower than it was. He had just enough to jump 2 steps back and to get a load of to get a charge of Overload. In the meantime, at top, Rax did drop.
He's gonna kill Brax. Goodbye, Brax.
Oh, he's actually gonna get the courier with 12 gold. And yep, Brax is dead skis. Little pub stompish as Arteezy, 24 charges, is just able to move around the map like cheat mode's on, man. He may as well just be a flying courier.
Yeah, he should get a refresher instead of this Orchid. So he has 2 Sheeps, 2 Abyssals, 2 Lincolns. Be pretty damn good. Refresher actually comes out with the puck. That was the second time again, if you saw that, where the coil comes out on the Lycan, and then you swap him out for a 4.5 second stun. It's actually a really cool combo.
Just gonna keep an eye on Arteezy for now. Fun to watch him. Yep, they call it. GG. Well played. And so it was. 25,000 gold by the end. 25,000 experience as well. I think we both had our concerns about EG potentially losing their relevance in the late game if they didn't close things out in the latter stages of the mid game. And as a matter of fact, just turns out, just get Arteezy a lot of farm. He'll be fine. He'll find his way.
Yeah. Well.